sometimes I've thought before, let's say there's like a magic wand that's like, okay, now you, Tony, you speak German fluently. Like, would you take it? It's you want to speak German fluently, like says like the magic, like the genie. And I'm like, yeah, sure. All right, fine. I speak German fluently now. Like, what would I do then? And then imagining that, like, whatever it is that I would do, like work backwards from that. Like Thomas, all of a sudden you speak Spanish fluently. Oh, now you can communicate with a bunch of people in the Texas, community. What do you do then? Like, what's like
Next will be travel.
cool?
Just travel to Latin American countries. Um, and then it was also a very big pain point too. When I was in Brazil, I lived there for like a month,
Okay.
and I couldn't communicate with the locals there. It was difficult. It was like so
Mm,
painful. I'm like, I need to get this fixed.
mm, I got you.
It- It's just language barrier is just so strong. Like
Got you.
people living in northern that part of Brazil, they didn't have that many people speaking English, so it
Are you
was.
in the Northeast?
I was like in Manaus, like the state of Amazonas.
Oh,
It
okay.
was This was like a year and a half ago.
I see. All right, very cool. Any other notes on deeper motivations, Ned or James?
I don't know. For me, it's just who I am. I don't know. The way I live my life is learning languages and working on myself. And
Nice.
I was born in a multi-ethnic ethnic environment,
Yeah,
and that's how things are here. Uh, just who I am.
I hear you. All right, nice. All right, I'll go. Uh, I think for me, the face-to-face, back and forth activity of conversation, especially in a foreign language when it's harder, varying degrees of difficulty. English, how you can, native language, no problem. But the second language, whatever, however many languages, and then the language that you're just starting, how much can I do with as little as possible? I find it's like a kung fu get thing. Like it's an internal martial art. It's you versus yourself because there's a lot I want to say, right? Like, so I'm trying to speak German, Jens, and like it's my first day. Okay, it's pretty much would be my first day. I've looked at some things, but it's basically my first day. So if you ask me, can you ask me like the simplest question possible in German, Jens?
Wie heißt du?
Wie heißt du? All right. You call yourself, how do you call yourself? What's your name? Is that it?
Yes.
Wie heißt du? Wie heißt du? Okay. I'm already like, oh man, well, shoot. Like, I could say, well, but my name's like, there's all of a sudden I have a thought in my head that I want to express, but I don't have a route. I don't have like a path out through German. I've got it through English. If you tell me how to say my name is Tony, so ich heiße Tony,
Ich heiße Toni. Ja.
ich heiße, ich heiße Tony. Okay. I still want to speak English. Like my brain is saying
Mhm.
like it's the easier to speak English. So I gotta go, okay, closing the door, like putting, all right, ich heiße Tony. Can you say Tony, wie heißt du?
Wie heißt du, Toni?
Ich heiße Tony. Wie heißt du, Jens?
Ich heiße Jens.
Ich heiße Jens. A couple days later, Jens, you're gonna be asking me more questions. Like you'll be like, oh, we can 5, 10 questions in the repertoire that we can do, And each time I'm gonna have this thought in my head that's like, oh, I could. So the discipline, it's me versus myself here, because the discipline is being like, okay, I'm going to have the discipline to not try to think of anything that I can't say in German. I'm not going to have my thought and then try to find the German words for it, but rather I'm going to scan my repertoire of German words and pick something that I have to say. And that's the mental discipline. That's like the internal kung fu. Love this book. You guys ever seen that?
Yeah, I can see it. Hmm.
It's like an old like samurai book, and the parallels between samurai and language learning, at least according to the way I see it, it's like uncanny. I want to I'm gonna like go through it and pull out every point and be like, okay, this is every point for point how the Book of Five Rings relates to language learning. All right. So the back and forth of conversation is this martial arts game where I have to defend myself against your German questions, Jen. You know what I mean? Jens.
Yeah.
All right. So far I've got Wie heißt du? And I can say ich heiße Tony. Everyone see my notebook? All right. There's structure and there's conversation. You know what I mean? Who was in the Japanese lessons? We were doing Japanese
I was
lessons,
there.
right, Ned?
Yeah, I was there.
Purely structural.
Yeah.
No one spoke Jap. Well, that guy Raphael did, who was awesome. He helped, but no one really. We weren't having conversation. In fact, I published it on YouTube. So I was like, oh, dude, this was an actual comment on YouTube. They were like, oh, your pronunciation is atrocious. And I was like, I was like, well, what do you want? Like, it's a puzzle. Like we were doing a puzzle. It's like you could distill the whole thing down of structure down to the idea that's like building a puzzle. Remember the whole Japanese thing? Oh, okay, so if you put imas on the end, that means you're doing this thing.
Yeah, I don't really remember because it was overwhelming for me. So yeah.
What was the process at least not overwhelming? Like maybe trying to recall everything. I mean, I'm with you. I don't recall, but at least that was the process.
I think the Japanese syntax was too complicated, and we were like it was like a we were constantly we had like a few pieces of the puzzle, and we were constantly rearranging it, and it was completely confusing.
Hmm. All right, I got you. Well, let's distill distill the structural part down into something super simple, and then and then go from there. So, give me one sentence in Jens. Give me a sentence in German. Like, let the sentence be. I like to drink coffee. I just go with that. Like we. How do you say I
Ich
like to
trinke gern Kaffee.
say again?
Ich trinke gern Kaffee.
You drink again coffee. All right. Long story short, take that sentence. Tell me where the variable is. Just like if it were Japanese, Ned. Uh, whatever the sentence is, what's the variable? So like, coffee, underline coffee, draw an X under it. Just like imagine this. Can switch out coffee for tea, water, beer, and so on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And trinke for what you like to do. For example, if you change the noun as well, then you can change the verb.
Awesome. Awesome. I like to drink coffee. Drink
Trinke.
coffee like I. That could very well be the syntax of English.
Yeah.
Could be coffee drink like I. Let's do a little improvised language inventing for a second. Do we like drink coffee like we're going to reinvent in the syntax of English? Drink coffee like I. Is that how do we like that? Or should we say coffee drink like I? Which one do you like, Jens? I know you've probably seen all syntaxes in languages before.
Mhm. Coffee goes to the end. And if you have a question, then the verb goes to the beginning.
Okay, so let's do English with German syntax.
Hmm.
Is that what
Drink
you mean?
you
Huh?
pleasantly coffee?
Okay, cool. So drink coffee like I. It doesn't have to be like German. It could be any syntax at all, right? So pretend it's either drink coffee like I or coffee drink like I. Which one do you want?
In which sense would I want it?
For fun. Like we're
Um,
just wild. We're just rearranging English as a thought experiment.
okay, drink coffee like I. Yeah, it's
Perfect.
okay.
Perfect. Drink coffee like I. Okay. So if in this new language, this new version of English, it's drink coffee like I. How do you say I like to drink tea in this language?
Huh.
Drink tea like I.
Drink tea like I. If anyone out there likes to drink tea, can you please say drink tea like I? Could be Thomas, James, Ned.
Drink tea like I.
Drink tea
Drink tea.
like.
Okay.
Drink tea like I.
Uh-huh. And in this language, you don't say, and what about coffee? You say coffee and coffee and Thomas, you told me drink tea like I. Coffee and
Drink coffee like I.
drink coffee like I. Where does the word also go in this language?
At the end.
You like it at the end?
Yeah.
All right. Good man. Drink coffee like I too. I was going to say it could go before, whatever, could go anywhere. Drink coffee like I too. How do you ask me if I like to drink coffee?
Drink you coffee like I too.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Drink. Wait a second. Say it again.
Drink drink coffee like you too.
Yeah, that would have to be it. That would have to be it. That's the puzzle, Ned. That's the syntax puzzle. Dude, if I went too fast with the Japanese, that's my bad. I apologize if I went too fast. But I hope the spirit of the thing there. This is the spirit of structure. It's that it's
Mm.
all a system of analogies, variables. Jens, can you
Mhm.
ask me if I like to drink coffee?
Drink coffee like you.
Drink coffee like you? Yes, Jens, drink coffee like I. You and
Drink coffee
like
like I too.
drink coffee like I too. T
Let's go
and
with no.
how do you do it, Ned?
No drink coffee. Don't like I.
We got to figure this out. Now we're see this is the puzzle, Ned. This is the puzzle. Forget Japanese.
Mm.
This is the spirit of what that was. How do we say if drink coffee like I means
Mhm.
I like to drink coffee, then how do you say I don't like to drink coffee?
No drink coffee. Don't like I.
Why do we need two words for negations?
Why not?
Because I think there's something called something like linguistic economy.
Yeah.
Some
Or
languages do it.
you're
Double
right.
or triple
You're right.
Yeah.
negation.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Like German and Greek have like
You're right. You're right.
quadruple, and Serbian also
You're
has
right.
like
You're right.
multiple negations.
You're right. You're 100% right. All right. Well, can we make it one negation anyway, just to make it easier on ourselves?
Okay. No drink coffee like I.
That's the best chance.
That's okay. Yeah.
No drink coffee like I.
Like Swahili does it, for example.
Is that how it would be?
Yeah, see.
One possible dimension that comes into play here, I don't know if it necessarily should come into play in this thought experiment, but one possible dimension that could come into play would be something like subject emphasis versus object emphasis. So, like, let's pretend the no comes before like. So, drink coffee, no, like I. I'm basically telling you, I don't like to drink coffee. But let's pretend then no comes before drink. No, drink coffee, like I. It's like I'm saying I like something, but it's not coffee. Whereas I don't like drinking coffee. I just don't like drinking coffee. But if it's not coffee that I like drinking, there could be that dimension.
Yeah.
It's how in English you've got this is interesting, Thomas. You got in English syllable timing. So if you take the sentence, I didn't say that. You say I didn't say that. Like hint hint like Ned Ned said it. Like I didn't say that, right? You have I didn't say that. It's like I'm saying it now. I didn't say that. Might have implied it. I didn't say that. You know how English does that?
Yeah.
German does it. I've heard German is what's called no, not syllable timed. It's called stress timed.
Yes, and German uses word order for it to stress different constituents.
There you go. So I'm wondering if the position of the word no in drink coffee like I does that. It's not coffee that I like. No drink coffee like I. Drink tea like I. Versus drink coffee no like I.
You could put it in front of the verb or in front of the noun, depending on what you want to negate.
Beautiful. I love it. Let's make it that. This language is not stress timed. You don't say drink coffee like I. It's no drink coffee or drink coffee no like I. Ned, are we good or am I confusing you?
Yeah. I get it.
Another interesting way is in Korean, where you mark the focus. For example, you can mark the role, what you want to stress. You mark it with different particles instead of changing the word order or stress.
I think that's what was happening in Japanese too, Ned. I know there was a lot of those little words. It was
Watashi wa, yeah. What was the marker? Yeah.
awesome. Jens, drink coffee, no like I, which is not true at all.
Mhm.
I'm just practicing. Drink coffee, no like I. And you know what? Drink tea, no like I too. You and
Drink tea, I like, but no drink coffee, I like.
you marked the object. Pretty cool. Where do we go from here? All right, so that's structure, right? That's the essence of structure. You can say one thing, you can say infinite things. Any comments or questions there?
Nope.
So if that's the essence of structure, let's see if we can figure out the essence of conversation. And I think it'll work, Jens, if you use German, because you're the best German speaker here. So let's find the essence of conversation. Essence of conversation, Jens. You want me to speak German, no? Like in your mind, you could imagine me speaking German, no? Like you could imagine, like what would I have to say to to speak German, right? Easy. You could easily imagine. So that picture you have of me saying what you want me to say in German, right? We have to find a way for you to get me there. The structure of the language is part of it, but it's actually only a pretty small part of it. In other words, you could give me one structural clue, drink coffee like I. Oh, okay, that's the structure. Okay, that's the pattern. All right. That's all we're going to do for an hour, maybe. Right? You know what I mean? Like we're not here studying structure.
For example, if you talk about routines, was machst du heute? What are you doing today?
All right.
Then you could say heute and then the verb and then ich.
Lovely. Lovely.
Heute spreche ich. Today I speak.
Awesome. Okay. I'm not even going to spell this right. I'm just going to spell it the way it sounds, but I'm going to create my little helper here, my little notebook deal, just like we like the coffee drink I thing. I was cheating. I was looking at it the whole time. All right. So you said, what are you doing today? How do you say that?
Was machst du heute?
Was machst du heute? Again, just spelling it however I want. Was means what, Thomas? Machst means you
Do
do
or make?
or make. Do is you, and heute is day, right? So
Today.
what do you? Makest thou? What makest thou?
Exactly. Mhm.
What makest thou, Thomas? Or
Nope,
for
I
our
don't.
speaking Deutsch.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
And that's what I'm doing today.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ich spreche Deutsch. Thomas, if you're speaking Deutsch today, can you say ich spreche Deutsch?
Ich spreche Deutsch.
Spreche.
Ich spreche Deutsch.
Mhm. Okay, here's the essence of conversation. Practice, training, Jen, you as the teacher.
Was machst du heute?
Ich spreche Deutsch heute. Is that the best place to put heute?
Ich spreche heute Deutsch
Ich
or
spreche heute. Mhm.
heute spreche ich Deutsch.
Oof. Let me just say, ich spreche heute Deutsch. Is that okay?
Ja.
Ich spreche heute Deutsch. All right, so Tony, Jens, can you say something? Was
Was machst du heute?
machst du heute? Ich spreche heute Deutsch. All right. That's all we're gonna do. That one little pattern, that's all we're gonna do. Right. So it's not about, all right, good job, guys. Now let's move on to the next thing. Get it? Ready? Get it to try to learn that now? Now, you want to work you want to install that pattern into my mind. So repetition is good. People, oh, how I repeat, I do spaced repetition. Repetition is good, but here's the thing: there's a difference between repeating just to repeat. So, like Jens, you could say, okay, can you say that again? How do you say that? Oh, you say it. You say, Ich spreche heute Deutsch. Ich spreche heute Deutsch. But each time I say it, I feel less and less like I'm actually telling you. You know how it's one thing to say something and another thing to actually tell you?
Ja.
Many times in language classes, the teacher won't even, like, I've been in this situation. They won't even, like, so I remember being in a French class and the teacher says, okay, here's how you say, what are you gonna do over the weekend? Or it's like, oh, qu'est-ce que tu ferais pendant le weekend or something. So I'm like, beautiful, good, all right, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to spar. So I raise my hand, I'm like to the teacher, I'm like, oh, qu'est-ce que tu fais the weekend? Like, what are you doing over the weekend? And she's like, good job, good job. Like, très bien. And I was like, oh, thanks, but what are you, qu'est-ce que tu, like, was machst du heute? And she's like, yeah, good job, sehr gut, sehr gut. And I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah. Was machst du heute? Like I'm actually asking. I can't get her to play along. Okay? The whole there are it's there's a difference between saying something and me telling you, you know what I mean? All right. So, Jens, if I just repeat just for the sake of repeat, I'm just saying it. I'm just saying. You want me to tell you, all right? So if you said, Tony, was machst du heute? Can you ask me?
Toni, was machst du heute?
Ich spreche heute Deutsch. Yeah. Okay. How
Ja.
can you make me repeat it? How can you make me practice? How can you make me build muscle memory?
I could ask in a little different ways. For
Okay.
example, sprichst du heute Deutsch? And then you answer, yes, I speak German today, to
Amazing.
practice the answer.
Amazing. Exactly right.
Sprichst du heute Deutsch?
Ja. Ich spreche heute Deutsch. Jens, exactly. Another way you could ask me again, but pretend that you're like the reason you're asking is because you're confirming. As if you forgot, as if you, oh, okay, so du sprichst heute Deutsch, ja? Du sprichst heute Deutsch, Jens?
Sprichst
Yeah.
du heute Deutsch? Ist das richtig?
Uh-huh, uh-huh. If it were a statement, right? So as opposed to sprichst du heute Deutsch? Ja, ja, spreche heute Deutsch. A statement would be du sprichst, right?
Du
You speak.
sprichst. Mhm.
Du sprichst heute Deutsch, right? Does that
Du
work?
sprichst Deutsch, richtig?
Du sprichst heute Deutsch, sprichst du? All right, so ask me like
Ja.
that. Like, yeah, you're speaking German today, right?
Du sprichst heute Deutsch, richtig?
Ja, ich spreche heute Deutsch.
Du sprichst Spanisch, verstehe ich das richtig?
Ich spreche Spanisch. Ich spreche heute Spanisch. Sprichst du Spanisch? Ich
So
spreche
ich
gar nicht
spreche heute Português.
Portuguese. James
Portugiesisch.
from Portuguesisch.
Português.
James, from my point of view, Ned, no, Jens, from my point of view, I'm telling you, Ned spreche heute, spreche, I don't know what the conjugation is. Ned spreche heute Portugiesisch.
Spricht.
Sprichst, spricht,
Spricht.
spricht. Ned spricht heute Portugiesisch. Ich
Ja,
spreche
nett.
heute Deutsch.
Ned spricht heute Portugiesisch und Toni spricht heute Deutsch. Du sprichst heute Deutsch.
Sprichst heute, ich spreche heute Deutsch. Und du, Jens, sprichst du heute Deutsch? Sprichst du heute Spanisch? Sprichst du heute,
Ich spreche heute auch Deutsch.
ja, also. All right. Ich spreche heute auch Deutsch.
Genau.
I
Exactly.
speak today also German.
Exactly. Genau.
Is that the syntax, Thomas? Is that what we're doing? That's what we're doing. All right, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, right? It's almost it's like all language speaking is like language invent. You tell me, oh, that's what we're doing. All right, that's what we're doing. Okay, ich spreche heute auch Deutsch. Ich spreche heute auch Spanisch. Ich spreche heute auch Englisch. Und du, Jens, no. Sprichst du heute auch Deutsch? Und sprichst du heute auch Spanisch? Und sprichst du heute auch, I'm getting the muscle memory now. It's the same thing, it's just one
Hmm.
sentence. Thomas, remember the epiphany where it was like, oh, so I could just do the same sentence basically until the muscle memory kicks? It's the wax on, wax off Karate Kid, you know?
Yeah, it just kind of makes me think of the Matrix when you're working on the Excel worksheet and then you can come up with many variants at the end. That's where the thought came from. And I'm like, oh, what? You practice the sheet like you're practicing a piano. And I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, oh, so it's starting to, it's like muscle memory, reflex, right? You just keep doing it even though you don't need to know what you say is you don't need to remember it, right? Is that it? Or I'm trying to map the idea in my mind.
It's for sure that you want muscle memory. I feel like I'm getting a little muscle memory now. I've repeated the phrase Ich spreche heute auch Deutsch. I've repeated it so far today, like the count, like bing, bing, bing. I've repeated it more than you have, Jens. You know what I mean? I've repeated it more. So I'm like, the more the chances I get to repeat it. But again, not just repeating it, because every time I repeat it, it loses. I'm like, not repeating. I'm actually telling you. That's the big difference.
Yeah, it's also different if you just repeat it 20 times after another just to keep it in your short-term memory. So it's more about the stress of hearing different questions and
Yes,
trying to react.
exactly. The stress. I like that. Sometimes I call it the pressure. The I like that. The stress. It's the stress of it's like, all right, here, boom, we're on. Tony, was heiße du? Du machst du. I got to defend myself against your questions. Without building that skill just doesn't just come along later, you know. It's not like, oh, I studied enough, so now I never had to go through that pressure.
Yeah, it needs to be easier for the brain to recall it than to look it up every time.
Yes, naturally so. You have to get to the point where the natural situation is, you know what, dude? It's easier to just, I might as well just remember it. That's what you mean, right?
Yes,
Amazing.
right.
Amazing. What I'm thinking is, what are all of the ways that I, as the German teacher, let's say, can get Ned as the German learner to repeat it, but not for the sake of repeating, but rather to express the thought again. So, Ned, what are you doing? What are you doing today?
I'm uh, I'm learning the language matrix method.
Wow, very good. All right, so Ned, you said you're learning the language matrix method. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. So today, what you're doing is learning matrix method. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. What? Sorry.
yeah. That's correct.
That's what's correct. What's
That I'm
correct?
learning the language method,
Ah, okay,
the
yes, you're learning the
matrix.
language. Yes, the language method today, and that's happening. Sorry, when's that happening?
That's happening today.
That's happening today. Okay, very. It's happening right now, no?
Yeah, it's happening right now.
Yeah, very good. So, okay, good. Good. All right. Yeah. So what's happening right now is we are practicing German. You were practicing German a second ago, little bit, right, Ned?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What?
I was practicing German.
Hmm. Practicing German, practicing Swedish as well. Were you practicing Swedish as well, or just German?
Just German.
Just not Swedish then.
No, 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 not Swedish, just
Not
German.
Swedish, just German. Jens, can you think about how you would like force me to speak German by doing that interrogative? I see. So, no, ne, no, nein, ja,
Sprichst du,
aha.
sprichst du nicht heute Deutsch?
Ich spreche heute Deutsch. Ich spreche heute Deutsch.
Ja, du sprichst Deutsch. Oder sprichst du Spanisch?
Ja, ich spreche auch Spanish. Proud of myself there. Spreche auch
Spanisch.
Spanish. Spanish. I would just, as the German learner, I'll just sit here. Ideally, like this is what I would love to have from like everyone who like is like you sit there with an absolutely blank mind, and I'm just waiting for your like you go, okay, so Spanish, and I'm like, yeah, Spanish. What about? I don't know. I don't know. It's like, yeah, speaks to Spanish, Tony. Yeah, you speak Spanish. Speaks to heute Spanish, Tony. Yeah, ich spreche heute Spanish. Sprichst du heute auch Deutsch? Ja, ich spreche heute auch Deutsch. I'm not thinking about anything else. You notice? I literally have no thought in my mind. And I'm just waiting for you to go. So, Jens, if you pretend I'm not like this and I'm actually like full of thoughts, like I'm all, oh, I'm here for my German class. Like I just like jogged in and I'm like got a million things going on in my life, you know? Like, all right, yeah, let's get her done. Like, how do I, the grammar thing now? Like, I'm all over the place, you know? You
Yeah.
want me like, dude, somehow you gotta like tame the wild thinking of that person because you just want me like this. You just want me like, all right,
Yeah, grammar can be a form of procrastination if you learn too much of it.
grammar can be a form of procrastination, dude. Well said. Very, like, very well said. All right, that's the essence of conversation. So, the essence of structure is the pattern game. That's what we're doing. All right, that's what we're doing then. That's the essence. Even if it's Japanese, that even if it's like, oof, I don't even know there, but you don't got to understand it. Maybe that's what you mean, Tommy. You don't have like, I don't need to understand. People go, why? Why is it East Book? Why is it why? Oh, well, here's the answer why. The answer why is because in this language, the noun follows the beat. You're gonna go, shit. I'm sorry I asked. Oh, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's the answer, Thomas. So that's what you meant. I don't need to know why. There is no why. There is no why. The why is because that's what we're doing. All right. That's the essence of structure. The essence of conversation is what was it, Jens?
That you don't, that you express your thoughts without thinking about why it is this way,
Yeah.
but rather than this is the way.
Nice.
And often you are not even ready for a full explanation on the reason.
Exactly.
For example, the reason is often historical, but most learners don't really want to know that. They just believe
Exactly.
they need to know it.
Exactly. Exactly. You know those things where it's like, oh, da da da, said no one ever. One of those like said no one ever things would, how'd you get so good at German, dude? Like, it's like, oh, well, dude, I memorized all the rules. Like said no one ever. Yeah. The answer is that's what we're doing. That structure, conversation from the teacher's point of view, Jen. It's like you as an excellent German teacher, you want me to express my thoughts. It can be repetitive, Thomas. Like it could be this. Jens, if you could get me to tell you 120 times in 1 hour that I'm speaking German today, I think I've repeated it myself today like 15, 20 times already, right? Ich spreche heute Deutsch. Ich spreche heute auch Deutsch. Like I got basically got the muscle memory. If you can sort of induce me to do that 120 times in one class, Thomas, I'd be dreaming that late. I'll be waking up like, ich spreche heute. Cold sweat, you know? All right. Any comments or
Wouldn't it
questions here? Jens?
wouldn't it be better or also good if you did that for maybe 5 minutes with one pattern, then change something, not a
Yeah.
completely new pattern,
Yeah.
and come back to the original pattern 5 minutes later?
Yeah, I think so. That would be very good. I think it'd be very good. I think you as the teacher, Jens, like you'd feel when it's time to change the pattern. Like if I'm getting a little too bored with it, you'd be like, all right, let me throw you a little curveball. Completely. I think that's very good.
Magst du Kaffee? Do
Yeah.
you like coffee?
Ja, mag.
Ja, ich mag Kaffee.
Ja, ich mag Kaffee. Mag?
Mag, to like.
Ich mag. Ich mag.
Ja, ich mag.
Ich mag Kaffee.
Ja,
Magst du Kaffee?
ich mag keinen Kaffee.
Ich mag keinen Kaffee. Magst du Tee? Erbate?
Ja, ich mag Tee.
Tee.
Kräutertee.
Heute Tee. Ah,
Herbal Tea, Kräutertee.
heute Tee. Okay. Heute Tee. Green Tea? Nein.
Grüner Tee.
Grüner Tee? Nein.
Ich mag grünen Tee.
Mag grünen Tee. Ich mag auch grünen Tee.
Magst du
Oh.
grünen Tee mit
Ja.
Kaffee? With coffee?
With?
With coffee? Mit Kaffee?
Mit Kaffee. Ah, nein. Nein. Ich mag keine grünen Tee mit Kaffee. Ich mag Kaffee. Oh, grünen Tee. Ich mag,
Oder. Mhm.
ich mag Kaffee mit Tee. Nein.
Mhm. Magst du Kaffee oder grünen Tee?
Ich mag Kaffee. Und du?
Ich mag grünen Tee.
Grünen Tee. Ich mag grünen Tee. Magst du grünen Tee?
Ja, ich mag grünen Tee.
Grünen Tee. Magst du Kaffee?
Nein, ich mag keinen Kaffee. Ich mag
Ah,
grünen Tee.
grünen Tee. Sehr gut, sehr gut. Magst du grünen Kaffee? I don't know. That's all I had. That's all I had.
Yeah, but it was correct. If that existed. Ja. Nein,
Yeah,
ich mag
green coffee.
keinen grünen
Maybe
Kaffee.
matcha coffee.
Ja. Mhm. The structure was correct.
All right, that's the big thing. Look, in my dream world, we got Jen's writing lessons and Ned, you writing less like give me your Serbian lesson. Not right now. I mean, like think to yourself, okay, what does Tony look like speaking Serbian? And then like you make me be that. You
Yeah.
can make it look, long story short, structure and conversation flow back and forth, right? So you want to give me a pattern, give me the pattern, and then let's go into conversation. Now we're doing the conversation. Oh, look, a new pattern came up. Let's go back to the drawing board. So it's just a back and forth. Sometimes it's like two modes. Sometimes we're in structure, sometimes we're in conversation.
So yeah, I was thinking the other day like about learning the cases, like languages that have cases, and then
Mhm.
I was like, okay, how do I do that for people who don't know what cases are and how they work? So I was like, I was just creating fake scenarios where you
Yes,
would like fake real life scenarios where you would actually use them, and you
yes,
just go back and forth. That's how we do it.
nice. Can you think of an example there? Or any what were you thinking Serbian?
Yeah, I was thinking about like whatever language that has
Yeah.
cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you think of an example that involves a noun that needs to be in a certain?
Yeah, for example, brat, which is the same in Russian because you were learning Russian the other day, and it's
Uh-huh.
like the Indo-European language. It's
Okay.
similar to brother.
Brat.
So,
Okay.
and it's the same in Russian and Serbian. Who do I see? I see brother. Koga vidim? Vidim brata. Brat-a. So you add just
Videm.
a. Vidim? Vidim?
Vidim.
Brata.
Brata. So
Hmm.
I see my like brother. I see brother.
I say brother or the brother. Yeah.
Okay, the brother. Yeah, I see the brother.
That's the accusative case.
Okay. Keep
So,
going.
so wait. Sa bratom. Sa kim? With who? With the
Okay.
brother. Sa bratom.
Bratom.
Yeah.
Bratom. And then how do you say with?
Sa.
Sa. And
Yeah.
how do you say I am with the brother?
Ja sam sa bratom.
Ja sam
Mm-hmm.
sa bratom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I see the brother.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, what's going? I'm trying to think of what the context first, right? Like, do you see the brother? Who's the brother? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all good. It's all
Uh,
good.
yeah, you
What?
can say. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Where do you say the
Uh-huh.
brother?
Okay, nice. Fine. Forget the context. Vidim
Yeah.
brata. It's correct to say
Mm-hmm.
vidim brata and ja sam
Mm-hmm.
sa bratom, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. So, can you ask me if I see the brother? I
Da li
see the
vidiš
sister.
brata?
Here's what it is. We're at this family reunion. Oh, that's the
Mm-hmm.
brother of the bride. You see the brother of the bride? Yeah, that's the bride. That's the bride. You see the brother? Oh, he's far away. He's back
Yeah.
there behind the thing. All right, ask me, do you see
Yeah.
the brother?
Da li vidiš brata?
Vidish brata?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not a Vidish brata, Tony? All right, ask me, Tony, you see the brother?
Da li vidiš brata?
Yeah. How do you say yes? Da?
Da.
Da. Okay.
Yeah.
Da vidim brat. No, 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 no. I don't. Nie vidim brat. Oh, yeah, vidim brata. Vidim brata.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vidiš brata?
Da.
Da? Me too. I also vidim brata. See, that's what we're doing. Oh, that's what we're doing. All right, that's what
Yeah.
we're doing. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm with the brother right now. Have you seen him? Can you see, dude?
Uh-huh.
Ja sam sa bratom.
Ja sam bratom, da.
Ja sam sa bratom. Are you, Ned? Hey, Are you with the brother right now?
Ne, nisam.
Nisam sa bratom, right?
Mhm.
Nisam sa bratom.
Mhm.
You're with the brother?
Ne.
Are
Ne.
you with
A
the
ty?
brother? I am, yeah. Ja sam sa bratom. I
Ja
knew you
nisam.
weren't. I knew you weren't with him because I'm with him, huh? We could play forever on that.
Yeah.
You never have to tell me, hey, you know what? But it's brata, bratom. I'm like accusative, genitive now. I mean, I want to know those words. I'm not against. I want to know the grammar. It's
Yeah.
just I'm not trying to be explained to like the grammar. Like I'm trying to use it.
Yeah. So, for example,
Conversation
yeah.
teaches structure.
Yeah. So that's, for example, I have one Russian student. He was learning Serbian, and he always wanted me to create the tables and whatnot, with the
Mhm.
conjugations, declinations, and everything. And it was so hard for me to do it
Sure.
that way.
Yeah.
But he could, for example, just do comparisons. That would be a great other way. Just this is how it is in Russian. This is how it is in Serbian, and you
I see.
just change it.
I see.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I like a table. It's just I don't like to study. I don't want the table as my like. Oh, I'm trying to memorize the table. Give me you know what the table's like. Table's like the artist's palette,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm like, oh, I bratom. Yeah, ja sam bratom. Oh, brata. Vidim brata. Vidiš brata. Like I take as needed. It's
Hmm.
there, but you don't need them all at the same time. That's the way. The conversation's the canvas.
Yeah.
So you use a few colors in the beginning and then slowly build up the color over like a span of time. Just two colors for a couple of weeks, three.
Yeah.
in 4 weeks, 5.
Yeah. That's the precise meaning of fluent in 5 words. All right. Very productive. Good talk, guys. Any comments or questions here?
So I guess the whole thing you're trying to do is just to get into a conversation or flow with a few words. And then when we're practicing like on the sheets, right? It's just like open where you can see how the conversation look, where that's the creative part of the conversation, right? Is to be
Yes,
able to see it. And then the survival conversation is when you're not looking at it
exactly.
and you're working directly with the native of the person you're studying the
Yes.
language with.
Yes. The spreadsheets and everything, the patterns, the this is what we're doing. That's the base of the pyramid, the structure. We use that to move up. It's like an alchemy, like we want to move into conversation as often as possible. I mean, that's the same thing just like what you're saying, Tommy. That process creates muscle memory, and soon your personality, you're expressing your personality blooms in the new language. You're another like you've sort of built a new soul. Yeah. So yeah, Thomas. Structure creates conversation. That practice builds muscle memory, and so on. That make sense?
Makes perfect sense. I'm starting to see what you're trying to teach a little bit better now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Thank you.